His fingerprints are everywhere, despite what others say. And as we search to find the clues, the Bible points the way. Though some may say there is no God at all, behold His face and listen to His call. Look up, the answers there are found, but you will never see them by always looking down. Look up, and soon
It goes to show you that the truth of God's word is something you never outgrow. We need it from the time we're born, all the way when we get older, and all the way till we die. We need it every single day of our lives. It's not just a thing for kids at Bible school or adults at church. It's for every day, inside and outside. Okay, well, let's see here. We have some contest winners, Miss Deborah. I bet we're excited to find out.
All right, how many of you excited? All right, now again, this is so hard. There's so many of you. You all did a good job. I think we only have one team left. Mr. Isaac, your team, after Bible school is over, you can make sure everyone who had a hat comes and gets a snack, okay? Everybody had one. Okay, so all of you guys did a good job. And remember, if you don't win, we're still going to cheer for other people, okay? All right, so we're going to start. Before I do that, we have, if you get third or fourth place, you get to come and pick something out on the floor, okay? It's got to be something on the floor. You can't get it off the bench. If you're first or second place, you can pick it from anywhere, off the floor or on the bench, okay? So we're going to talk about a couple of our prizes real quick so you know what's up here. First of all, what do you have to have in order to pick this one? Parents' permission, okay? This is a big deal, so y'all got to make sure you have permission for that. Up here, we've got a tool bag. It's got a flashlight and batteries and gloves. It can be a detective bag or a mystery bag or whatever kind of bag you want it to be, okay? Down here, we've got some little tool bags that have small little things in them, nifty things that a detective would need on the case. Maybe a handy-dandy magnet picker-upper. You guys ever wanted to pick up something metal and you can't reach it? You can put it right down that little hole and pick it right up. Like almost that. You can almost pick that up. Look at there. It's got a couple other things for doing magnet stuff in that bag, okay? Every bag has a flashlight. Every detective needs a flashlight, right? All right, so we got 3 little bags. One has a lock. Can lock up your important stuff, along with a flashlight, of course. Then we have the handy-dandy screwdriver set. You can unscrew all kinds of things, and your parents will find the doorknobs on the floor. We have had that happen, no lie. All right, we got all kinds of, Mr. Caleb, it looks like Inspectress Stuff left a prize. It's called, look at there, she left her pocket chair. You can pull out a handy-dandy chair and sit anywhere you need it. Look at there. It can even hold Mr. Caleb. Pretty good chair. Okay, so these are just some of the prizes up here. So third and fourth place, where do you pick from? On the floor. First and second place prizes, where can you pick from? Anywhere, okay? All right, so all that said, let's have a drum roll, please, for fourth place with the best detective theme hat goes to Judah Inman. So Mr. Judah's going to come pick a prize. While he's doing that, we're going to go ahead and get a drum roll for third place. For best themed hat goes to Miss Caitlin Gowan. Good job, Caitlin. All right. Okay, now we need a drum roll for second place. All right, in second place for best detective theme hat goes to Miss Hadassah Inman. We'll let Hadassah come up and pick. All right, last but definitely not least, in first place, let's hear the drum roll. The suspense is high. Goes to Mr. Paul Lester. Good job, guys. You can take a prize. This was great work. Everybody, your hats were amazing. Now, those weren't the only names picked, but they were the highest places. Y'all did wonderful. Okay, are you guys ready for tomorrow's contest? Okay. Tomorrow's contest is a little bit different. We need the best fingerprint art. Detectives learn a lot from your fingerprints. Bring your best fingerprint art. Now, make sure you write your name and how old you are on the back of your art, okay? Extremely important. We cannot judge it if we don't know your name, okay, who your art belongs to. So, we're going to have tables set up tomorrow with your team name on it. So you find the table that has your team name and you put your artwork on your table, okay? Does everybody understand that? Write your what? Name and very, very important, okay? And you're going to make your artwork with what? Fingerprints. All right. So I hope you guys have a lot of fun doing art tomorrow. Okay, give everybody a hand. Congratulations.
All right, let's review that memory verse. Are we ready? 1 Peter 5:8 says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour." Good job, we did it without the slide. Let's see if we can get that thing up and going again. There it is. Ha ha. What about that? Do that one more time. 1 Peter 5:8. Now this time we'll do like Mr. Ezra did when we get to roaring lion. We're going to roar. Okay? Here we go. Be sober. Be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Watch out. You just never know. Just remember, stay close to God and his truth, and you'll be safe. All right. Sorry about that. We're going to have a story here with Mr. Scott Doyle. So just give me a second and we'll get rolling on that.
Case file J20-23 VBS 2023. Name Chief Scott A. Doyle. Date Monday, June 20th, 1939. After a day of observation on the streets, the rookies are gathered to compare notes and decide if there's a case yet to pursue. Private investigators are usually just that, private. So let me introduce you to the team. The one with the camera in the teacup is Inspector Elizabeth Information. Ever the English rose, Elizabeth is the life of each tea party in her stately neighborhood. Liz has a unique ability to remember genealogies and identify facial features. When she was 7, she helped solve a case for Scotland Yard by connecting the face on a missing person poster with a picture on a cereal box. Next, there's Inspector Artie Article, who took pre-algebra in 5th grade. He's a math and science whiz who spent high school touring labs all over Europe. He was his own test subject for most of his experiments. He performed in his former landlord's garage. While most don't understand the workings of a mind like Artie, I see something familiar in his enthusiastic stickler to details. Inspector Joseph Justice is our walking law book. Besides his parents, his closest friend growing up was an elderly county judge who attended the same church as Joseph's family. Joseph, originally from the United States, has read nearly every American and English law book, making him familiar with civil codes and criminal law. When our academy made news in the U.S., Joe contacted me for an application. So far, my intuition about this rookie has been spot on. Last is Inspector Paula Practical. Paula was the youngest of 7 brothers, a real country girl with quite the resume. She makes herself heard by her no-nonsense look. Her crime-fighting career began in her childhood when she and 2 brothers foiled an attempted robbery on their neighbor's home by releasing a mother pig and 15 piglets. An A-plus extra credit student, she's done everything from training dogs, raising hedgehogs, built farm machinery, and nannied for the wealthy London families. All in all, this is one of the finest classes of rookies I've had the privilege to train at Scott Doyle Inspector Academy. Well, rookies, you know the drill. We're here to compare observations from yesterday. Tell me everything you saw. No detail is insignificant. We'll start with you, Elizabeth.
Well, about Diana, her lovely shoes, they were just red as all. She rode an adorable bike, and her entire ensemble is quite eloquent. Diana's autobiography was accurate. She's the second child of one older sister. Her parents' names are Archibald and Clotilda Heartthrob. A mother's maiden name is Rowhunter. Sister's name is Josephine, married to Dr. Frederick Ludwig, Ph.D., son of Peter and Marian Ludwig, distantly related to Sir Francis Drake. She has the deep brow set. She graduated salutatorian, always second best. Runs a second-hand clothing store, and she's a pro at taking second-hand rags and making them chic boutique. She's desperate to find a famous, if not infamous, man to marry. Now, Tabitha. Tabitha Lloyd is the only child of Timothy and Garcia Lloyd. Gracia. Her grandparents on the Lloyd side are distantly related to Napoleon. She dressed in fashionable clothes, but a bit too young for her age. She owns a pet bird and lives alone. She has a sweet and caring personality and volunteers at the library. However, she does read romance novels. She works as an online customer service person for an overseas company, Gaudy Ladies Book. She's a recent member of the London chapter of the Progressive Modern Thought Club, which is an exclusive club for modern thinkers and elites.
Some good observation, Liz. Possible case.
Well, Diana seemed desperate to share her story. Tabitha's advice to follow her heart seemed harmless enough, but hardly realistic. The only thing is, the one that Diana is pursuing is menacing Melvin, who is one of our wanted suspects. He happens to be a former member of the Progressive Modern Thought Club, but has not attended in over 5 years, which is about how long he's been wanted here at our academy. And that Diana even has his picture and makes her suspect as well.
observation. Artie, what do you have?
Ah, yes. Details. The truth is in the details. Well, Chief, I have done quite the extensive investigation surrounding Matilda and the book salesman named Charles. I was hiding in the telephone booth at the intersection of Carlton Avenue and Worcestershire Street. At precisely 10:47 and 30 seconds thereafter, in the time zone of British summertime. Oh, okay, going on. My apologies.
Let's
At
reel it back in. Stay
Okay,
on
you're
track.
right, yes. At this time, I saw Matilda approach Charles' bookstand. She was in a state of confusion due to the fact that she was raised in a very religious family, as had her father and grandfather before her. And she was raised to believe the biblical teachings of the Holy Bible. But her friends from high school were telling her that God did not create the world and that we all came from primates. She wasn't sure what to believe. I checked her backstory and verified that she does indeed attend church at the First Baptist Church. Her dad is an elder, and her grandfather is a deacon, and her uncles are on the presbytery. She attends the local high school and has several non-religious friends who like to frequent the local coffee shop and pub. She checks out. Charles seemed quite stressed that day. He seemed edgy and cranky. I checked his backstory, and he checks out as well. He graduated from Ivy League University and has absolutely no religious background. He lives a lavish lifestyle and is heir to quite the fortune. His few friends state that he is a spoiled middle-aged brat, and his attitude is quite often abrasive and arrogant. He traveled with the BBC film crew to New Guinea as a consultant, and he has written a book on the evolutionary progression of ancient man and the effect on modern society. I have found out as well that he is a member of this progressive modern thought club. His reply to Matilda was to forget about those old teachings from an old book and trust that everybody says is true. Evolution is the answer. My final conclusion on this matter is that there is no real case.
Artie, good work, and I have to agree, doesn't look like there's much of a case, but you did mention Worcestershire. I hear they have a good sauce.
Oh, yes, yes. It is the store on the side of the street, yes.
Paula, what do you have?
Well, Harold's backstory does check out. He was raised to be an honest Christian, hard-working man, and Harold works very hard to make the ends meet for his sweet wife and their 4 small children. But he's currently employed at Riffraff Shipping and has served his employer faithfully for 8 years now, with little recognition and a pittance of a raise. While he waits patiently for a promotion, he is continuously overlooked and has recently been overlooked for the position of manager given to a new hire of Ted Turncoat, whom I suspect is dealing in petty crime, and he has demanded that Harold falsify the records for the sake of the company by doctoring the amount of crates that are given out and sold. As for Belva, her records begin all the way back in kindergarten as a loud and willful child, and she spent lots of time in the principal's office, as you can imagine, for her blatant disrespect. This report continued all the way through middle school and did improve slightly when she reached high school, as she became class president. After graduation, she entered law school to pursue her dream career in politics. She joined the Progressive Modern Thought Club 10 years ago, just before graduating law school, and is currently running for a position in Parliament. And her positions on any issue are quite unclear, as she is easily persuaded by whatever ears are listening, and whatever words will please is what she will speak. My conclusion is I do believe that Harold is truly a good man in a bad place. And Belva's encouragement that he accept the offer from his boss, Ted Turncoat, to falsify the records and accept the money is just what about any politic would do, and what happens on the streets of London daily. You pass anyone who is padding their pockets in some way or the other. But I do have a history with white-collar crime. As a teen, I nannied for a wealthy family, and the children were lovely, but I did have to resign my position due to the suspicion of white-collar crime, which I would have no part of. So my opinion is that there is a possible case, including Belva and possibly Ted Turncoat and the riffraff shipping in white-collar crime.
Solid work, Paula. I couldn't agree more. Joseph, what do you have for us?
I have some notes on Professor Sigmund and Richard Ricardo. Professor Sigmund was orphaned at age 6 when his parents and older brothers were murdered by a street gang in East London. Sigmund was raised by wealthy family members. He was given the best education. He holds a doctorate in psychology and sociology. Sigmund has taught at the university for over 30 years, never married. His students, for the most part, love and respect him. His contributions to newspapers and the Journal of Education are always lauded with praise. 20 years ago, Sigmund was a charter member of the Progressive Modern Thought Club, a group of like-minded atheists and humanists. On Richard Ricardo, Rich is an only child of wealthy parents. He has an extensive police record, nothing violent. Never several counts of reckless endangerment. Leaping out of the library window, sliding down courthouse railings, riding a wheelchair wildly through the neighborhood, skydiving from the London Bridge, riding grocery carts down steep hills into oncoming traffic, and riding a cow through the middle school hallways. Not a member of anything organized. No close friends.
Good work. Good work.
Apparently no case. However, there is a thread of connection between each conversation. If you believe in yourself, can you really do anything? Are there any inherent dangers of such logic?
Why, of course there are. If you could do anything, then why didn't poor Richard believe that he was a bird when he skydived off the London Bridge? Simply jumped and said, "I'm a bird," as he fell. There are dangers to such logic of believing in yourself than believing that you can really do anything.
Does the evolutionary theory have any tangible proof? Or is it a seemingly endless string of guesses and theories hiding in an unimaginable number of years and backed by mainstream institutions? And rules in religion. Are rules in the religion only fabricated by society? Is there a higher power?
You pose some very eloquent questions. So I would say that there is no tangible proof. You're right. It is the theory of evolution. This is true. But I never thought of it that way. Even though many scientists and journals speak of it, I can't rightly, off the top of my head, remember any actual proof. I always say that 1 plus 1 must always equal 2. And evolution doesn't have those facts, now that you mention it. And as far as the religion, if it's merely thoughts of men, this also, I don't know if it is true.
And concerning Belva, even if lying, a common occurrence in the corporate world, can you trust a politician willing to lie about anything?
Certainly not. If they will go with one way, they'll go with another way. They don't believe anything. There's no truth in them.
The true question could be, could you trust a politician at all to begin with?
I should say not.
I've trained you well.
With Tabitha and Diana, can your heart and feelings really be trusted for wisdom? Obviously not based on their choice of boyfriends.
True.
Seeking out a wanted criminal for a love interest does not speak quite well to her following her heart. You brought up some good things for us to think about, Joseph, though, to add to our cases of the many different things that you have brought out as fact. Fact is fact, and truth is the truth, and that is what we will follow.
Apparently, we have, 4 individuals that are all members of the Progressive Thought Club? There has to be some link there.
We need more information on this Progressive Modern Thought Club. That is a very important detail.
My final observation. There's a minor connection between players in all 4 scenes. Tabitha, Charles, Belva, and Professor Sigmund. Each are all somehow connected to the London chapter of the Progressive Modern Thought Club. Do you all think that the Progressive Modern Thought Club is a real issue that we should look into?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, most definitely. It was listed as they were a group of atheists. Is that what you read off your notes?
Come again?
You read that they were a group of atheists. Is that correct off your notes?
Yes.
And I believe he also said humanists as well.
Yes.
This group seems to be a major problem in our society.
I concur.
Well, it looks like we have some homework. Well done, Joseph. You found the thread to this case that most inspectors would miss. Each of you follow up, find out more. Let's dig to the bottom of this Progressive Modern Thought Club. Find out what they're about. Use your skills to track down the truth. You're dismissed.
Well, it looks like the rookies are onto something here. Well, let's give the cast a big hand tonight, and we will see what happens tomorrow. And all announcements have been made. We've covered something. Now, I know that in some of what's going on up here might be shooting over some heads, but that's okay. Just know that yesterday, not everything we heard from friendly faces was right or true. And the inspectors and the investigators are on their way to try to figure out what was wrong with what was said. So we'll see for ourselves